My name is Julie Santana, and I'm the Forest Futures Specialist at WWF Australia. This presentation will be covering forest futures and how the hemp industry can contribute to forest futures that Australia can be proud of. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people on whose land the Hemp Connect Forum was held. I'd also like to acknowledge the Ngunnawal people from whose land this presentation is being recorded. It always was, and always will be, Aboriginal land. Australia is the only wealthy nation deforestation hotspot. Eastern Australia remains a global deforestation and forest degradation front. We're clearing the homes of koalas, gliders, owls, and other incredible species faster than almost anywhere else on Earth. A big component of the Forest Futures work is around forest degradation caused by native forest logging. Forest degradation is the reduction in the quality and function of a forest. The Forest Futures work looks at the need to end native forest logging and the regenerative and sustainable industries that timber towns and other regional areas can transition to for job security, economic well-being outcomes, and sovereign capability of supply. Our big focus is on the New South Wales government's support of native forest logging, which has been found to run at a loss, be a burden on taxpayers, and hold jobs that are inherently insecure. The New South Wales government must transition from native forest logging to prevent the extinction of greater gliders, koalas, and other amazing threatened species. To have a state government enable native forest logging is economically reckless and politically irresponsible. To just think that the New South Wales Forestry Corp has been degrading native forests and operating at a financial loss totaling $73 million over the past 4 years, while leaving New South Wales regions vulnerable to climate change impacts, insecure employment outcomes, and sovereign incapability. Last year, we commissioned an economic analysis that looked at what outcomes would be realized from the New South Wales government carefully planning an end to native forest logging. We made sure that this was in the form of structural adjustment, whereby sources of hardwood supply, modes of manufacturing, and managing plus restoring protected areas were acknowledged as sources of stable employment for regional communities exiting out of logging. This research gave us confidence that regional timber jobs don't have to be lost due to unhealthy economic activities like native forest logging. Rather, workers can transition to working in more regenerative but functionally comparable sectors. And even better, net job gains can be realized, leading to better outcomes for regional communities. These research findings were exciting and provide the New South Wales government with great insight into what the future of the state's forests could look like. However, one critical thing is missing from this research: supply. According to ABARES, which is the Australian Bureau of Agricultural and Resource Economics, it may take 60 or more years for a hardwood tree to grow to a size capable of producing a saw log. Native forest saw logs are used to make products such as floorboards, stairs, decking, handrails, cladding, doors, furniture, musical instruments, and power poles. They can also be used to make industrial products such as pallets, structural components such as posts and beams, and engineered wood products, as well as paper, cardboard, firewood, and biofuels. We believe that timber alternative fibers like hemp could address this timber supply gap, and it could do so while creating a host of public and environmental services, including carbon capture, as well as toxin capture through phytoremediation. Australia can achieve sovereign capability much more quickly, ensuring it has a healthy supply chain within its borders, and relying less on global markets, which will increase in volatility due to climate change and conflicts abroad. The hemp industry needs to demonstrate to the New South Wales government how many jobs a hemp industry in New South Wales can create, how much of the wood supply gap it can fill, and how much value it can provide to regional communities. The need for Australia to end native forest logging is long overdue, and in order for the nation to meet its timber supply needs, the Australian government and its state governments need to support the diversification of its fiber supply. That means supporting the growth of a hemp industry, which means supporting the growers and the processors and the builders, and investing in the supply chain's infrastructure to incentivize private investment as quickly as possible. We'll quickly turn to esteemed economist Mariana Mazzucato's quote, "Policy is not just about intervening. It is about shaping a different future, co-creating markets and value, not just fixing markets or redistributing value. It's about taking risks, not only de-risking. And it must not be about leveling the playing field, rather about tilting it towards the kind of economy that we want." Industrial hemp includes a suite of products that Australia's governments have yet to fully tap into. Hemp industry participants must communicate to the New South Wales government that industrial hemp can help address Australia's hardwood supply gap, and that the industry's growth should be supported alongside the state's exit out of logging. We all need trees. We want an Australia where forests are protected, restored, and thriving. And to get there, Australia needs to diversify its fiber supply sources. It also needs to prioritize employment security in regional areas and invest in the growth of timber alternative industries, including structural hemp. Thank you.